My most memorable crush. The first time I truly loved a chick, like most simps, I did the brown nose stuff. I quickly began giving a great deal of attention, telling all the stuff I like, trailing not too far behind, later than expected, simply young men stuff. I was in the 6th/7th grade. When I appeared, each chick that I at any point liked, I would naturally begin groveling for them. Consider this, I have young ladies that liked me. However, I was unable to man up for them since I wasn't intrigued. But soon as my feelings began reaching out, it was like I turned into a lady. Allow me to fast forward what happened with Kara. Kara was my sweetheart, check the box, and you'd be like yes and no. We're like in 8th grade at this point, and like most brown noses, she became weary of me like that, and she broke up. Broke my little heart, broke me, annihilated me. No man around, I didn't have the foggiest idea what to do. Nobody truly conversed with someone about these stuff in the 80s. Fortunately, testosterone kicked in, and afterward, this chick I was calling left and right. This is back when you would call people, you get a busy sign. The stuff we used to do on the telephone, the busy sign, there was no call ID. It was insane. In any case, after my testosterone kicked in, I got annoyed with this chick, and I reached a place where I moved past her. I ran into her the following year in 10th grade. She recollected a similar form of me. I grew 9 inches over the late spring, so I went from being 5 feet tall, generally in 8th grade, to 5'9" in 3 months. 9 inches over the summer, incredible. I became a major Willie. Out of nowhere, that chick that I used to like, and I would simp for, began giving herself full-heartedly to me. Yet, I didn't mind no more. She called me, and I wouldn't pick up the telephone, or I conversed with her, and I simply brush her off. I mastered something in that general area. This is practically similar to a lab experiment since I'm a strategic-minded person, technical-minded person. I started putting this stuff through a scientific process. If being nice got me bad behavior, being bad seemed to give me good behavior. So I began being all the more terrible. I realized that the more awful I treated ladies, the more they liked me. Allow me to make this clear, I was dealing with ladies like a man treats a lady. I was doing that. I wasn't simping, I was standing up. I was expressing whatever I might be thinking. I was not making any passing assertions, not shrinking away from the real issue. It was right out of expressway. You fortunate to associate with me. I need this out of the world. She became all that I at any point wanted in a sweetheart after I began being a jerk to her. A presumptuous, savvy, and haughty. I went to that. I got these engaging things rolling on adjacent to me. This is what ended up occurring. We went to band trip, I smashed, and I still didn't have any desire to manage her. I smashed her and I'm like, alright, I put this chick up on the pedestal, and she didn't want anything to do with me. At the point when I began treating her terrible, similar to what I was told was awful, all abrupt, she needed to get with me, and I'd even smashed her. After I smashed her, she smashed the fella I was living with. I saw not too far off in full power female nature, and I'm like, I worshipped you up, dealt with you like a sovereign and a goddess in either way. This is the way you treated me. I deal with you like gravely, you fall all over me, letting you know all that I need, let me smash. Then you let my roommate smash. Right then I discovered that what I was educated was off base. Ladies don't need decent folks. Ladies need solid, secure, emphatic men who understand what they need. We have been led for our entire lives, know that this stuff is awful, and it's not. You see, even our little fellows in school on Ritalin, and all these other kind of drugs, to really tamp down male behavior. I'm conversing with the folks who need to figure out how to get the ladies you need. The primary thing you want to do is comprehend all that you've at any point been instructed is off base. Ladies like jerks, ladies like that sort of conduct. Assuming that you were brought into the world after 1970, that is difficult to acknowledge on the grounds that we were brought up in an age of equivalent privileges. However, you have an opportunity to gain it basically from me and a great deal of different folks. We had an opportunity to do some in-field investigation about this stuff. At the point when I went to secondary school, I just let everything hang out. I had a sweetheart in college, I just let it all hang out. I had a girlfriend in high school who I turned around and simped or pimped for. It was either one or the other. A great deal of the stuff men have been told was off-base, pleasant folks completed last. Each time I was a decent person, I completed past last. I never at any point wrapped up. However, when I was only a person who just said forget it, I will just beat it, I'll simply be a jerk, a presumptuous, smart, and pompous, the most achievement I've at any point had of ladies. That has been reliable from teen to now. So how would you make it happen? Most importantly, you got to comprehend something. You gotta fix your programming, folks, since we've been customized to think hold the entryway. Open for ladies, be valiant. Ladies don't need all that. Number 2, you can't take exhortation from wedded individuals. Hitched men are carrying on with something else entirely. That doesn't imply that they're terrible. They're carrying on with something else entirely. Single individuals and wedded individuals have various inspirations and different other things. A wedded man will let you know different things since he has a spouse. Ladies are very similar. I rehash ladies are very similar. I know by paying attention to this, a few people are thinking, man, that sounds cruel or discourteous or misogynist. That is the means by which we've been modified. That is the very thing that we've been educated. We've been informed that a man taking care of business, being self-assured, moving toward a lady, being straight-up direct is a hard, haughty thing to do. Indeed, think about this, I have a greater number of ladies that way than attempting to be their companion or whatever else. When I simply approach a chick and say, look, I'm attempting to return home with you this evening, what's happening? After I moved past the underlying shock that she expressed to me, I returned home with her that evening. I didn't take her number. I gave her mine since I won't call you and pursue you. Everything is likely counter to your programming. They called you, they need you. Folks, we need to pause for a moment or two and figure out how to reassert our masculinity, and this is certainly not something terrible. This is really something worth being thankful for. Allow me just to get to the individual parts of this. At the point when folks are behaving like, men, my grades are better. I was performing better, my connections are better. Testosterone is up on the grounds that even your feeling of masculinity is satisfied, when we are the pleasant person simplest acting feeble beta guys. No man feels better being that way. That is the reason I said you can't pay attention to wedded men, in light of the fact that a ton of hitched men are beta males. They would rather not hear it. However, on the off chance that you live by the term happy wife, happy life as I did, you will be a beta male in marriage, very much like me, since that is everything I was said and educated to be. Furthermore, think about what? I wound up getting divorced on the grounds that we had a 75% of the voices of law being ladies. We proactively went down the details. Ladies don't need these things. The primary concern is this, folks. Ladies need folks who are sure. Ladies need folks who are confident. Ladies need folks fringe, self-important. They won't say fringe, yet they truly do. They need presumption. This winds up occurring. At the point when a person goes that way and self-completes, the general public does how it will to fundamentally bring you down with words like gracious, don't do that, return to being the pleasant person. This is on the grounds that they have some control over decent folks. Assuming that you're seeing someone, unless you can 100% say you are the man in that relationship and your better half or spouse is truly supporting you, it's difficult to feel totally like a man ought to feel. The issue is most folks have never felt that, so we don't figure out it. A few people will scratch like a crude nerve like gracious, that is jerk, that is old school, that sounds like a cave dweller. There's a reason there's so many pickup craftsmen and every one of these other sort of stuff, and I'm doing whatever it takes not to show you any pickup craftsman stunts. Notice I haven't utilized one procedure or any such thing. I'm trying to say these ladies like men who are sure, savvy, and emphatic. They understand what they need. They won't hesitate to go get it. Let a lady know what you need up front.